Well, stop what's down, tell me something going round. Let's discuss the light of day, spitting truth come with me. What's up, what's down, nothing's ever out of bounds. There has to be a better way, always something of a better play. Hero Shack Day, Hero Shack Day, Hero Shack, baby things. Hero Shack, hey, Hero Shack, yeah. Hero Shack, daily things.
All my friends are heathens, take it slow. Wait for them to ask you who you know. Please don't make any sudden move. You don't know the half of the abuse. All my friends are heathens, take it slow. Wait for them to ask you who you know. Please don't make any sudden move. You don't know the half of the abuse. Yeah. Welcome to the room of people who have rooms of people that they loved one day docked away. Just because we check the guns at the door doesn't mean your brains will change from hand grenades. You'll never know the psychopath sitting next to you. You'll never know the murderer sitting next to you. You'll think how'd I get here sitting next to you. But after all I said, please don't forget. All my friends are heathens, take it slow. Wait for them to ask you who you know. Please don't make any sudden moves. You don't know the half of the abuse. We don't deal with outsiders very well. They say newcomers have a certain spell. You have trust issues not to mention. They say they can smell your intentions. You'll never know the freak show sitting next to you. You'll have some weird people sitting next to you. You'll think that I get here sitting next to you. But after all I said, please don't forget. universe. It looks like you might be one of us. All my friends are leaders, take it slow. Wait for them to ask you who you know. Please don't make any sudden moves. You don't know the half of the abuse.
Well, some what's down, tell me some going round. Let's discuss the light of day. Spitting truth, come with me. What's up, what's down? Nothing's ever out of bounds. There has to be a better way. Always something of a better play. Hero Shack Day, Hero Shack Day, Hero Shack baby things. Here Shack, hey, Hero Shack, yeah. Hero Shack daily things.
Hello, hello, and welcome to Hero Shack Daily Things number 42. I think it's 42. Hello. It might be 43. I'll fix it in the end, but how are you tonight?
I am well. How are you?
Yeah. It's been a bad day for comic books today.
Yeah, you were talking about that.
Well, one thing I didn't mention tonight yet was MD Bright. Full name Mark Bright passed away. I don't know much about his death. I do know that he was an artist that I grew up. Well, I didn't grow up in the 80s.
Mm-hmm.
He had a run in Marvel that I remember distinctly. He was involved in the Iron Man comic book, and yeah, Iron Man was my favorite. So there was that, and that's pretty sad. But it kind of got overshadowed.
Yeah.
Ed, I don't know even how to pronounce this properly, but Ed Piskor, I believe is how you pronounce it.
Yeah, something like that.
Someone I've never even really heard of.
Yeah.
Last week I heard of him for the first time. And it was because he was being accused of grooming a 17-year-old girl when he himself was 38, 39. And there were some text messages that he exchanged with this young lady that were certainly questionable. But like, I didn't think they raised to the level of what they became. At this point, the man was facing accusations of being a pedophile, which I am dead set against pedophilia.
Most people are.
But at 17 versus 30, I don't know what's happening there. I do know that legally there was no crime committed. It was creepy as all get out.
Right.
But the pressure got down on this guy to where He closed a highly successful YouTube channel. Then he started closing his accounts. And then this morning, he put up a 5-page suicide note. And panic kind of flew throughout the independent comic scene. And I'm sure through comics in general, everybody who was tied to it suddenly knew about Ed Piskor and knew about this note, this letter. And it just got really freaky. It really got freaky.
That's so sad, though. It was such a sad thing.
It kind of ticked me off because it showed the doggy dog world that we're in, and it showed the doggy dog world of the comic book community because, as you know, I am fasting from Ethan Van Sciver, but I do catch him from time to time. And last week, while he didn't outright accuse Ed of doing anything wrong, he did report on this story and said it's all rumor right now, but this is what's happening. And he literally read the girl's tweets that she shared, the messages.
Yeah.
And, you know, along the way, you know how Ethan is. He dramatized it. What? How old is Ed? And why is he texting this 17-year-old?
Yep.
Well, today, it was like you were watching a whole nother man.
Yeah.
He was all in support of Ed and was outraged that he had been pushed this far, pushed to suicide. Hey, Joey.
Hey, Joey.
And it's just really bugging me the way people take advantage of the situation. Like the coin flipped and now it's the other way. You know, last week they were ready to cancel the guy. This week they want to kill the people that wanted to cancel him. And I'm like, oh. So I'm not sure what the half plus 7 rule is. I think that means half your age plus 7 years.
Yeah.
My rule is even more cutthroat. How old was she when I was 18? And if it's weird, I ain't doing it. So in other words, if she was 16 and I was 18, okay, maybe in the 50s that could have been something. Maybe I could talk to her because we're talking adults now. We're talking like right now 55. So she would have had to been what, 53? But like if I was 18 and she's negative 12, yeah, I ain't touching that with a, not because of the biological issues either. It's because of the emotional and maturity and mental issues. Like, you know, I hate to just admit this outright, but I'm an old man. And God forbid that I ever lose my wife. But if I tried to go with someone half my age plus 7 years, that would be 32 or so. And she would crush me. I would be like, no, you can go out. Yeah, no, I'm done for the day. I'm just going to, I know it's only 9 a.m. I know. I'm going to go take a nap now.
It's so bad.
But
I'm
it's
gonna
true.
go take a
Like,
nap. I just had lunch. It's nap time. Don't you know?
Well, like I look back at like the TV shows and stuff and the movies from the 70s and 80s.
Yeah.
And you see all these like 50-plus-year-old men with these like, you know, 18, 19, 20-year-old actresses in their movies. And I'm thinking there's no way.
You're laughing, going, yeah, right.
There's no way unless they are hyped on Coke, which I know a lot of them were. But even then, that's not healthy. We all know that. You can't live your life on Coke.
Right, of course.
That's the youngest you can do, not what you should do. Yeah.
Right? Seriously.
Yeah. It's just, I guess what it comes down to is at my age, my libido is definitely a lowercase L. And I'm very happy with what God has blessed me with. So I don't really, it's not that I don't notice beautiful women or you know, it's not like I can't tell when a woman is dressed to kill, whatever.
Do you think people are thinking that?
No. But I mean, what I'm saying is it's not like I don't have that visual knowledge. It's just that it's not like when you're 18. When you're 18,
you're happily married, right?
And you're chasing it.
Well, plus, you're happily married,
I'm very happy
right?
with what I have. Yes, that's you, babe.
Well, I'm just kidding. Anyways, well, I'm really sad about this whole people, and I'm, you know,
I'm kind of mad.
No.
I mean, frankly, it bothers me how people flip the switch. Last
And
week he was a pariah. This week he's a martyr,
right.
and
Well,
that troubles me
the old
because
human way, don't you know?
I guess, but like it's
Joey, right? What's going on? He's like, I mean, it's not like I'm dead. I notice beautiful women. I'm like, yeah, but you're happily married, right? That was
right.
a good comeback.
You're right.
You were going down this road. I don't think you realized it, so I had to put the brakes on because I don't
No,
think
I know
that's
what
where we
road
were
I'm going down because I live with you. I was just like, she's secure. I don't have to worry about it
I
much.
am, Bob.
I know you are.
Listen,
So yeah, that's what's on my mind.
I'm
I
sorry.
watched some of what Ethan had said earlier today at 1.25 speed. So I could kind of get through it. And it just, none of it struck me as like, oh, this is a great, it just all feels so canned. And
Mm.
I'm not happy. I don't understand what happened to comics. I think the internet has been terrible for comics, or at
Well,
least the
yeah, I think
creators.
I agree. I don't think everywhere is like this. I think it's basically the internet. I really don't.
Yeah. Well, you know what's crazy?
What's
I
that?
really didn't know a darn thing about Mark Bright until today when I read a little bio
Mm-hmm.
that accompanied his death, the announcement of his death. Why is it I know so much about these other people that I don't even, Ed Piskor, I don't know anything about his artwork or his body of
Mm-hmm.
work. I just know that he's known in comics. I guess he might have done something with Marvel from what I've understood.
Mm-hmm.
Like the whole internet has made it so impossible for people to be themselves, because if you make a misstep, boom, you get canceled,
But I
and if
don't
you
think.
get canceled, it's problematic because people have real issues coming out of that usually.
Mm-hmm. The whole cancel culture to me is just it lacks humanity. It lacks any kind of empathy or any kind of you know real emotion. I'm going to cancel you because you did, or I don't like, so you don't deserve. And it's like it's all so selfish, and I don't know. I
Well,
just.
oddly enough, if you want to get a little bit spiritual with this, which I do,
Hmm.
it's lacking in Christ. There's no
Right.
redemption path. There's no forgiveness. There's just, what? You said something to a young lady 20 years ago? You've got to be canceled. And
Mm,
no, I'm not talking about this Ed Piskor case, because this happened just a few years ago
right.
online. But I mean,
Right.
like, I never hear any paths of redemption, and we've seen people try to apologize, and they just get hammered worse. An apology is a confession that you did something wrong, and well, yes, but it's also a call for repentance and forgiveness, but they leave that part out, which means it's not very Christ-like at all.
Well, and I think too that, if you are coming to the internet to be validated in any part of your life, that's a really sad place to be. The
Well,
internet
there's
is not a
another
place.
problem happening there.
Yeah, this is not a place for validation at all. It's a place to share information, to gain information, perhaps, grow a business, but it's
But
not a place to
honestly,
like.
though, I have sought for validation through the internet, and you're right. It's not
It's
really a
awful.
place to get it,
No,
because
it's
even when
awful.
you get it, it's fleeting.
Of course, and it changes with the wind.
Yes.
It really does. It's like, wait, I don't like the way you drew that character, or I can't believe you did this, or because we're talking comics,
Well,
but
usually it's
really,
something like,
right?
"I can't believe you liked that tweet." And
Right.
it's like, "What? Because I liked a tweet?" I can't believe how many people have told me I'm like a Donald Trump diehard, and I'm like, "Why?" And they're like, "'Cause of this tweet you liked." Okay, well, I thought the tweet was good. That doesn't mean I'm a MAGA. Not that there's anything wrong with that either. Why do
Right.
these people put distinctions on this stuff? I'm like, hey, I'm an independent voter. I will vote for whoever I feel deserves my vote. I'm not voting party lines. Don't call me a
Right.
right wing whatever or a left wing hit. I'm none of those things. That's why I chose to
Right.
be independent. It's like,
Right.
but this is the world of tribalism. You know, this is the you got to be on a side no matter what side it is anymore.
Mm.
It's just that I think the world has forgotten how to be on the side of, you know, oh, this is going to sound cheesy, truth, justice, and the American way.
Mhm. All
I
right.
mean, that's
Well,
what
thank you for sharing all this. This was
I'm not
fascinating.
done. I'm
Oh,
I'm
you're
I am bleeding out because I am so just frustrated. You know, I'm sitting here drawing while I talk, right?
yeah, I'm working on Psych's eye, so that's good.
Oh,
We're
well,
busy hands.
I'll share what
Oh,
I'm
that
drawing.
looks good.
This is Cyclopian about to totally go blitzkrieg in issue
Mhm.
8. This is the
I will say
bottom
issue 8,
panel of
right?
the page. Yeah. You want to see the whole page? I can turn on the other layers. That one's kind of cool though. That's just some of the I'm using a cross hatching brush, so like it just makes
Mhm.
like a screen pattern instead of a line.
Cool.
When I put on the line art with it, ooh,
How
let's see.
fancy.
That's the rough. I don't need that anymore.
Terry said, Terry's in the chat as well,
Hi, Terry in the chat.
and said that according to cancel culture, we can't draw beautiful women.
Oh yeah, I got 2 beautiful cops right there. Well, beauty is in the eye of the beholder, but
True.
yeah, you see them there? I haven't done any final touch up on them. You can tell all this stuff is like in the process.
Yeah.
Cyclopian dragging his fist along the ground as he gets up. The cops calling out to I equal some, look out behind you.
Right.
And oh my, behind you is the Great Cyclopian. Yeah. But I didn't want to stop drawing when we went live. It's kind of helping me. I don't know. It's weird. Death is weird because I usually don't feel very, I don't get too like upset about death.
hmm
But this whole thing is more than just death. I'm like, damn it. Why people got to be so just, oh,
Well, it's a bullying situation. It's being bullied.
it's
Cancel
being
culture is
fully
very, very much bullying people to stop doing what they're doing, in
right.
my
And
opinion.
I don't
And
even
so,
know why it has to be that way.
and so here we have like so many, in school setting again where I work, it's like anti-bullyism and all that. But here we have full-grown adults that
Yeah.
behave that way. It's just it doesn't. We wonder why our kids today have some
Well,
confusion.
like the girl that came forward with this stuff, right?
hmm
I really don't understand what the point was. Like, there's no, I don't know. Am I crazy to be like, where are the charges? Like, why weren't there charges filed? Like, I don't understand.
Yes,
Like,
Terry, I agree. Yeah, you don't understand why all of a sudden, what's this? 3 years later, right?
yeah, like,
She
why
decides
is
that
this
she wants
happening
to
now?
like. I
What
don't
did
know.
he do? Like to promote this suddenly?
I don't know. We don't know. I don't think anyone will ever know the full story. And again, taking one's life, that's huge. That's not just, oh, he's mad at me or he hurt my feelings. I mean, this is an ongoing thing. I would think. I don't.
Well, that's the
There's
other
a
thing.
lot more to. There's a lot more to. I believe than just this. These text messages were released. I think
Right,
this
there has to be.
gentleman had a lot more going on
Maybe,
inside of them that people didn't realize. I mean,
definitely. Yep.
you don't always know what people are thinking and feeling, you know?
Well, that is true.
Yeah, so
That was something I was thinking about too. This probably wasn't just about what happened. Like, even though he wrote a letter that made it clear that was his,
mhm,
but suicide isn't something
to take
like usually
lightly.
there's like more to it than just I suddenly decided.
Right.
Like I would sincerely doubt it was his first time considering suicide, unfortunately,
Exactly.
whether
And in all
anybody heard about it or not.
right. That's what I'm saying. I don't think this was could have been the last straw for him. There could have been many, many times that he was going to, you know, do
Or that he
this,
felt close and
take
then
his life,
no.
and then, he was able to. And it really is very sad. I mean, I don't like to see a person's life end because of unkind words or words that or things, situations that got him to such a bleak point in their life. You know? And then
Well,
people were saying, oh, maybe it's just an April Fool joke. And I think that they actually found the person.
that's what I was led to believe. There's no doubt. In other words, yeah, it happened.
Yeah.
But that's understandable. Like, I think a lot of that, April Fool's joke stuff was wishful
Mhm.
thinking. Like everybody would have been ticked off, but it's much better to have, a really insensitive April Fool's
And
joke
get
than
him help, get him some help and stuff, or sort through everything and be
well,
accused of such a
if it
horrific
was
thing.
if it was an April Fool's joke, it presumably wouldn't need assistance, but at least it wasn't a suicide if it was that, but it wasn't, unfortunately.
Right.
Um,
Right.
it is what it is. And
This is true. Absolutely.
I don't know. I feel like such a big topic, such a big subject. I would be remiss not to at least talk about it, especially
Mhm.
since I, I didn't know the guy. I didn't have a relationship with his career or his artwork, but it really bothers me. It's like, oh man.
Well, maybe, as you kind of reflect about the times that you get, sort of frustrated because you haven't moved forward and no wrong thinking creative media. You see what Joey wrote? Um,
No.
he said, how dare you have your own opinions? No wrong thinking creative media, Chris. Yeah.
Yeah, you got to understand, bro. I agree with you, but it's a crazy world out here, man. People are all, oh no, it's all crazy. And I don't
It
know what
is.
to do about it other than get on here and share my opinion and let it hang out a little, which I'm doing.
Mhm.
If nothing else, it's good therapy for me because I
Mm,
can't be hearing all this all night long.
and I do. So he shares it with
Well,
you guys too. This is nice. I kind of like
you
it.
you were downstairs while I was setting up tonight, which is what you usually are, but so I didn't whine that much to you.
No, you didn't. I was our
I did
Chewy.
make you listen to some EBS though, which we haven't done in a while.
Yeah, I was
'Cause,
like yawn.
well, honestly, I had to hear it for myself because people were complaining about what he was doing, and I get it now. Like it's just like how can you be like against the guy last week and now you're playing the other card?
Well,
It
because he
just
never
rings of an
expected it,
insincerity.
probably.
He what?
Never. They probably never expected this.
No, no one
You know what I
did.
mean? And just to, you say, I can't believe it, and blah blah blah, or whatever. I mean, it's
That's a good point. That's a good
significant,
point.
pretty
Nobody saw it
significant.
coming.
Yeah, but
And
mm,
that's why I'm talking about it because my Asperger little head couldn't figure that part out.
I know.
I still can't figure it out though, but yes, at least you have rationality to your word.
That's what I'm thinking. I don't know if I'm right or not. I have no idea. I'm like,
Me
good
neither, but it
Lord.
sounds rational.
No, it sounds like that. So
I
yeah,
gotta put Peter down because if I keep touching him, I'm gonna put lines everywhere.
I know. You should stop.
I'm stopping now.
Are you? Okay.
Yeah, for that panel.
I was going to say, just for the moment. Yeah, and you'll go back, which is kind of nice. So we're getting excited. The books will be in within the next few days, guys. So for all of you that had backed us on the Great Cyclopian 7, we got a couple of items in today, which was fun.
Yeah, that was cool.
And yeah, my hope is that everything will be in and I will have them all packaged up and get them into the mail ASAP. That is my game plan. My game plan. We met with I met with the library folks today regarding our comic book fest. That went well. We have a game
Yeah, that
plan.
went well.
So
That went well.
it did go well. So it's becoming more community based than what Chris had originally and I had originally envisioned. But that's what happens when you're working with community organizers. And I'm okay with it. Chris is a little, I don't know what he is. He's just opinionated, I guess, and really wants it just stay focused on indie creators. But I also get why we're doing what we're doing. Uh-oh, he's going to speak. Ladies and gentlemen, watch out.
One word.
Go ahead.
Comics.
Yes. There will be plenty of them. We have a couple new vendors
No,
coming in.
no. One word.
Mhm.
Comics.
Mhm.
Not plenty of. Not multiples of. Not a large portion of. But comics. Everything should be comic themed. That's my only point. You know,
I know.
if it's not, you might as well just call it the Crap Fest or whatever. I don't know. I don't know. The Craft Fest, would that work?
No, not at all. So I'm excited. We are moving forward with it, and we're
I'm
getting
excited too.
save the date postcards made up and all of that stuff. Let's see, what else can we chat about? So I've been very busy working on this. I have got a tiny little, tiny bit to do.
Oh yeah,
I'm
we
going
can
to get
see
it done tonight. What's that?
Looks good. It looks good.
Yeah, it looks good. You can't see it. I've got to figure out my thread flow a little bit better because I'm not really loving it. I'm getting some.
It's not doing the McDonald's for you, huh?
Nah.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
But you know what's funny? It's my very first time embroidering ever anything. So I kind of self-taught myself, and I'll have to look up a couple of things. But it looks pretty decent. It looks better than any eye that I've done before. That's kind of cool.
I can't see it.
I don't have it up there. I'm still working on it. I'll show it when it's all done. I should be done in relatively few minutes before, and they probably won't stay for the whole stream because I am kind of tired and I have to get up super early.
Well, how long do you think I'm staying?
I don't know.
I'm not staying late. I wanted to come on and just express deepest, condolences to his family, which sounds lame, but there are people that are dealing with this right now. That really, they tried to reach out and tried to get him before he could do anything, and it was just apparently it was too late.
Mm-hmm. Yep, that's what I heard. Terry, that's one of the reasons why I want to get off early too, because streaming every night. My writing time is normally right after dinner, around that after I take care of the dogs and stuff. What? No,
you're gonna blame the show for a lack of writing time.
Yeah, I am. No, well, it's true though.
If this hadn't happened today, if there wasn't such a distraction, this would have been our first retro gaming night.
Yeah, I thought that's what you said yesterday. You had toyed with it. I mean,
I plan on doing Monday nights. I'll do retro video gaming. Look at some games that I'm playing. Some of the systems. I got to get a new one.
Yeah, your battery. What the heck happened? I can't believe that.
So I have a flip. They don't make replacement batteries for it. It's a custom engineered battery. But apparently if I can figure out the proper measurements, I can get a replacement. It's just figuring out the proper measurements. So that's my next thing.
Do you need a ruler? I have rulers, I have all kinds of rulers. Sorry.
Yeah, sort of. Yeah.
Hold on a second.
That's not exactly what I need to do, because the The measurements are printed there. I just have to find a battery that'll fit the measurements. Do I need a ruler? But I was looking at other devices, therefore everything like from a $65 Game Boy style handheld to a $200 full-fledged Retroid replacement. The thing about Retroid and its product is I've now had 3, and all 3 have ended up with some sort of issue. The first one I had, the thumbstick lost its little padding on the top. It fell off.
Yeah.
The second one I had, the shoulder button broke. And when I took it apart, there was no fixing it. It was broke, and I would have had to find a replacement shoulder button. I believe they sold them, but at that point I decided to get the Retroid Flip, which is much like a DS, but it only has one screen. The advantage being you could have a larger screen fit in your pocket because it was all, in a flip box.
Right.
And that battery basically swelled up and died. So
is that the one you had in the little Ziploc baggie?
Yeah.
Okay.
So now
go ahead.
Well, now the whole thing is, do I want to get another Retroid, which, what's going to go wrong with that one? Or do I want to try another brand, knowing that all brands seem to have some issues,
Right.
The next one I'm considering is called Ambernick.
Oh.
That's Hook knocking over books.
I'm like, what is that racket? I can hear thumping.
So, ladies and gentlemen, as you may tell by the background, I've been working in the studio changing things up, and Hook is not pleased with that. So Hook has knocked over about 20 comic books onto the floor.
Oh my God.
He's gonna get it.
I'm getting you bins for those comics. They're gonna come off the shelf, and you can stack them up in bins. That way they can't knock them over.
I need a long box is what I need.
Do you want a long box?
Yeah, I want a long box.
I have some down here. It has the Amazon print on it. Would that work?
Those aren't long boxes.
I could put 2 together and make them long.
Do you know what a long box actually is?
Yeah, it's to hold comics. And it's designed the perfect size for comics. And it probably has some silly specialized paper so the comics don't degrade or some nonsense.
Actually, I believe they are in some sort of acid-free cardboard.
Yeah, there you go.
I believe they're made, or at least they used to be. I don't know if that's still a thing. But back in the 80s and 90s, I remember there being a big deal about, putting them in the proper cardboard. And I don't remember if the plastic was ever questioned, but it was kind of funny because you were worried about the cardboard when your bags were in plastic. That's a little weird, but okay.
All right.
But I just need a long box that's made for that size. That's all it really is. They're made to be able to, hold the book upright and, not let it, get injured by the way it's standing. And
Yep.
Yeah.
So a long box it is. I shall get you one.
Yeah. Well, we could go to a comic book shop this weekend and get one.
I suppose we could.
It could be a date.
Oh my God, seriously?
No, I'll leave you at home. I'll go get it.
Okay.
Since you don't seem interested.
I would go with you. I'd be interested.
In going to a comic book
come someplace with me, we could swap off.
Like grocery shopping, you mean?
No.
I'll take you grocery shopping, baby.
Oh, thank you.
See, I'm kind of fun.
You are kind of fun.
Yeah, grocery
Jerry
shopping.
said to get a custom lawn box.
Yeah, you can. I don't know if he means get one ordered with the Great Cyclopian on it. Because you can get those, but I think it's more expensive. I'm thinking one of the white ones that you see basically with every collector. Every vendor has them too.
Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah. I
It
say
sounds
go
like a
for it.
plan with me.
It sounds like a good plan. Get those books off the shelf so Mr. Hook can't knock them over in the middle of your stream.
Mr. Hook is gonna be tortured viciously for his crimes.
Yeah,
I am
he's gonna
going
get
to get
belly rubs.
I'm gonna get the kitty snacks and call his brother over and his sister over, and then I'm gonna look at him and say, "None for you. I'm a meanie." And then he's gonna cry, and I'm gonna give him a few. But I'm gonna
Yeah,
try to be. I'm gonna try to be mean.
you're gonna try to be mean with
I'm
all
gonna
those
try.
treats. Oh, I know, with
Yeah.
all those treats and belly rubs. Man, oh man. I don't know if I can take that abuse.
Well, admittedly, he is quite the awesome cat. He seems to have a bond with me. Um,
Hello,
he's
outcast.
stupid. He's a klutz. Good evening, outcast.
Yeah,
Uh,
he is a klutz. He's a funny klutz. He's the funniest cat I've ever seen.
yeah, and he's they're all in contrast. They're brothers and sisters, but his brother Brave is exactly that. He's far too brave. His sister Belle is a little princess Priss, and you put the three of them together, and it's
Man.
a sitcom for any network. Yeah,
Yeah.
it really could be though. That's the scary part. They're real
is.
characters.
Terry's like, the point of this mission is to find comics for Diana. I do read comics. I'm actually reading logic comics right now about famous mathematicians and philosophers. It's a heavy read, especially because I tend to read before I go to bed. But it's interesting enough. And
It's very heavy. I saw her the other night, and she was groaning trying to bring it up the stairs. I offered to help, but she was being all tough.
And I read the Great Cyclopian. I do have a couple series, but in all honesty, I haven't really had much time to do a lot of comic book reading. I'm working on several different projects at once, and that is where my time is spent these days. But Chris did say he wanted to go to a comic book store this weekend, so I'm sure we'll make it happen. As long as we get to do a little shopping for me along the way.
Yeah, I'm going to take you to Market Basket, baby.
Ooh, we can go grocery shopping together.
We're
You
gonna
guys
go to
know
the
that.
bakery and get a heart-shaped cookie.
Oh my God. No. When we were first together dating, that was a date that you used to try to qualify as a date. I laughed at him. I said, no.
I still count them as dates.
Yeah. I know you do, honey. It's okay. It's all right.
Anytime we go out in public, it's a date.
There you go, guys. There you heard it. So all you men out there trying to woo your wives in, that just anytime you take them out anywhere, you got to bring them to the dentist. Guess what? In my world, in Chris's world, it's a date. We're driving in the car together. It's
you know what?
Date.
You know what? You stop for gas and it has like a Dunkin' Donuts. That can be breakfast and a date all in one. You got to know how to label stuff.
Yeah, that's it.
If
On
you
the
fill up her
labeling.
car, you bought her gas. Just get the premium and say you got her the best available. It's
Okay.
gold every time.
Yeah, that's Chris for you. He's a catch. He is a catch, actually.
Sometimes they're hard to catch. Tony, I swear I'm not doing it on purpose, but my phone, I like shut it off and it's like set it and forget it.
Yeah.
I get into the drawing habit and yeah, y'all don't understand. You get to drawing and everything gets lost in the weeds. And it's not just drawing, because there are times when like I'll take a break and I'll play Retro Bowl for a couple of games, or I'll play Fallout Shelter. It's it's not all drawing. Sometimes I do take time out for mental sanity, because that's what video games are for. Yeah.
Sometimes he takes out the trash. Sometimes he, takes the doggies for a walk. Sometimes he does other things too.
I pet kitty cats.
Mm-hmm. He brings up the laundry.
You know what I never do? I never mow the lawn.
No, you don't. That's mine. You're not allowed. I saw how you mow the lawn once, and I was like, you know what? think you should go work on whatever book you're
No, you
working
know
on.
what? You just don't like European lawn mowing.
I don't. You're right.
I use a standard French European lawn mowing pattern, and it truly aggravated you.
Yes, it really did.
But
So we're
that's
just
what
gonna
I
let
would.
it grow really long. It'll be like a maze for the kids to play in. With
Do you
all the
remember when I
trees.
did that in Florida?
Yes, I remember, and you wouldn't let me
I
cut it. I was having panic attacks.
But I did cut trails through it.
I know you did. That's what was so funny. The kids still remember that. They're like, please don't let Dad mow the lawn. He went out there and he mowed a couple of sections and he came back in and he called it a day. I'm like, what are you doing? Oh, I'm working on a design. I'm like, what? Yeah, give it a week. It's Florida. Sure enough, the next week he goes down the same paths. By like a month and a half in, we had grass in certain sections up to our knees, but then there were all these little cool paths and whatnot.
You're
Where the
supposed to
snakes and
walk the path to
the
go places.
yeah, where the snakes and the chameleons lived. And finally, that did it. The snakes did it. I'm like, okay, yeah, we're just gonna get out there and cut this now because that's crazy.
And my wild kingdom was gone.
Mm.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. It was. You are such a nature person.
Well, I'm not really a nature person, but I am an animal person. I am the guy
You
who
don't-
had a bear visit me during camping.
I know.
You guys
I know.
didn't get no bear visiting you.
No, I did not.
He tried to get in the car
Well,
with me.
tomorrow night is Tuesday
Yeah.
night.
Yeah, go ahead, change the subject.
I'm going to change the subject. They don't want to hear about the bear that was climbing into the trunk while you were you. So when Chris really doesn't want to do something, he really truly is like a kid. I can't even explain it. So he was pouting in the car, reading his Bible, praying for all of us crazy people because we were in the woods of the mountains of New Hampshire. My son and I, my daughter, our foster daughter, the dog, we're all unloading, and there's Chris with his Bible in the front seat reading. So we're yelling now because the trunk is open, full of food items and tenting items and whatnot. Chris, and this bear, this black bear, is coming lumbering over to the car. Boom, 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 boom. There he is, turning the pages, just giving us dirty looks. Like I can't
Yep,
believe
ignoring them like I don't care what they say.
No, I don't care. I'm not doing anything. I'm fine. I came,
Oh,
but
there's a
that's it.
bear behind me. Ooh.
And this bear proceeded to get closer and closer. And what did you finally do?
It wasn't until the bear leaned on the trunk and I felt the whole car tip back like 6 inches that I knew there might be something to be concerned about. And then I jumped out and the bear started running away. So I followed it, which I was told in afterwards that's not a good idea. But the bear was really fast, so I couldn't catch it. So there was that. But we did find where the bear was taking food, and we found all its packaging and all the torn bags. Again, I was told that wasn't a good idea either. But
no, he got good photos.
She wanted to talk to me, so I was trying to get her back, and you guys scared her.
We scared her. So we don't take Chris camping very often, to tell you the truth. He's not really a fan of it. And when he does come, he just belly aches. So he's not fun.
The last
so
time
when I go
out,
camping, I call up my children, my adult children.
Hey, the last time out we went to see the Rock Band Extreme. You took me to this isolated place in the middle of nowhere.
It was not isolated.
And you hung food on the tree, and then you went to bed in the tent. And this raw meat hanging from the tree brought this massive bear-like creature. And I hid in the car and
called
I hit
a raccoon.
No, it was a skunk.
Oh yeah,
it was a mammoth skunk.
It was a mammoth skunk. So it was a skunk that was trying to get into the trash, as his wife, meaning me, was laying in the tent alone, and he's sitting in the car saying, "I think it's coming over you."
When I realized that it was a skunk, though, I realized your best bet of not getting sprayed would be to remain in the tent, nice and sleepy. So I just kind of fell asleep in the Jeep and waited for it to disappear.
Yeah.
Actually, it wasn't the Jeep. It was the Nissan.
Yeah. Well, whatever. So yeah, again, just to reiterate, I don't do camping anymore with Chris. I've tried and it's just, we're good though. It's all right. I
You
have
see
other
how
people
I
I
get
can
blamed for
answer.
that, even though she was the one who hung the raw meat from the tree?
It wasn't raw meat. It was our trash. And it wasn't. It was just paper. It wasn't even anything because we hadn't
No, there was
eaten yet.
meat on it. I could smell the blood from the meat dripping on the ground,
Is
and
it
the skunk held it up, and it had a sign on it. It said, "Take me and my husband."
Yeah.
It
It
was
was
meant for a
fine.
bear. I was just
Yeah.
lucky a skunk came along.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. I'm just, yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure.
So tonight would have been the retro gaming night, as you were saying.
And it will be next
And
week. We will
yes,
cover some of the
perhaps, but you know
greatest
how
games.
life is.
Well, that you know what?
What,
One thing
honey?
about this is it's been in my head all week long, and this just kind of cements it. One doesn't have to be pro or anti Eric July or EBS or CG to simply
Right?
look at it all and get and say, you all are nuts. That whole quadrant of comic book misery is insane. And that's harsh words, but man, I don't understand how people can stay aligned like this.
Right.
I really grew up wanting to be a superhero, wanting to be a better person, wanting to be the good guy. And I thought everybody in comics did too. Like I thought every kid reading that was the advantage of reading it. We were all going to be the good guys.
Hmm.
And the kids missing out, they were going to be the ones still figuring it out. But we already knew because we read, Peter Parker. We read Bruce Wayne. We understood Tony Stark. We knew the dangers of, power and the responsibilities involved. And we were equipped. And it
I
doesn't
see.
feel like anybody else was thinking the same thing.
Probably not, honey. We've talked about that
Well, except for
before.
the Titans. I think the Titans
Perspective.
thought
The
the same
Titans.
thing.
Well, yeah, the Titans are another whole. They're
And I
another
know there were
whole
other,
group of dudes.
but there were
Mhm.
other geeks like us, we weren't the only ones who were majestic in our thinking and uh, you know having the fantasy to reality mind trip of believing that we could make a difference by doing the right thing. And if the building was on fire, we would try to save the people, not get out and save
Right.
ourselves. That kind of mindset.
Right.
We were not from a generation of pull your camera out and take pictures first.
This is true.
No, we didn't have the cameras. That's why even now, like I've often laughed because if a UFO was to fly right overhead of me,
Yeah.
I think the last thing I would do is grab for my phone. I wouldn't even
Really?
think. Yeah, I think my first thought would be to watch and observe and try to, I don't know, probably try to get like some sort of interaction with it. I
Okay.
run after bears. I'm going to go after a UFO. I'm sorry. There's no.
Yeah. Well, with camera in hand, maybe. No, I probably would. I
I would
did
have my
actually.
phone with me, so if I had to call a cop or something, but
You don't
yeah,
think you try to take a picture? Well,
well, maybe if
there
I
you
got
have.
talking with him and I was like, "Yo, ET, can I get a selfie?" Maybe then.
How did we get down this avenue?
You took me here.
Um, how did? No, I didn't. I'm trying to finish this eye.
Well,
Um,
I was trying to have a real serious, deep conversation, but it's hard to go too deep on it. It's a sensitive subject, and there really isn't much more to do with it other than, ooh, disgusting behavior. And where do you go from there, right?
right. True.
Because you know what I don't want to do
What don't you want to do?
is I don't want to go overboard talking crap about anybody else and
Right.
then find out they killed themselves next week.
Well,
That's the danger of all this internet drama. People get
and
pushed.
people
Some
are,
people can't take it.
but people are. I did change the subject. I know, but
But
people
people are.
are very willing to say lots of things when they're at their computer or on a video, and there's that whole face-to-face thing that is missing
Is
in
missing.
people,
Yes.
you know?
Yep.
Because if we really thought about it, would we behave this way person to person? I wouldn't. I mean, I don't
I
normally
would.
go saying you would. You would not.
Yes, I would. Because I'm really not that different than I am online, especially if I know you. I can have an honest conversation with people. And unfortunately, that does sometimes backfire on me.
Yes,
You
yes, this
know?
is true. It's true.
Don't ask me what I think about your church if you don't want a religious discussion about this, that, and the other thing. Like, don't
Right.
ask me why I didn't vote for X, Y, and Z if you want a serious conversation.
Yeah.
And it's not because I'm contrary, and it's almost never for the reasons people think. If you ask me why I'm anti this or pro that, odds are you think it's because I'm this party, that party, or a Christian, or that or that. I usually have logic that's not reliant upon, upon
The
anything you guys
norm.
consider.
The norm.
Yeah, you guys would be like, that's why you believe in that? Yep, that's right.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It that is a really valid point. Oftentimes when I ask Chris why he likes or does something the way he does, the things that he says, like I would have never thought of it. I was
Well,
like,
a
"What?"
perfect example, the last time we were at the Comic-Con in Connecticut, or at the casino,
Yeah.
we were at a restaurant, everybody was in cosplay, and they had this bull up there, this mechanical bull. And there was a girl up there straddled to it, muscular legs and everything. I think she was kind of cute. I don't really remember, but she's on it, and it could be quite suggestive if you were thinking the wrong thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I just blurted out. I looked at Diana. I said, "Oh my God, look at her ankles." And it was because the way the light was hitting it, she had perfect ankles for like modeling, like a drawing, or seeing like how the ankle was assembled on the heel. And
Yep.
she was barefoot, so you could see it
And I
clearly.
said to him, I said, "You've got this cute little 20-something-year-old on a mechanical bull, and you're looking at her ankles." He's like, "But honey, they're beautiful. Look at her." You're such a freaking weirdo. But
You
anybody
could
else,
really
like
see
he's
how
Googling
everything was
her.
connected because she
He
was
wanted to go,
straddled on
you
it.
wanted to get up and get closer. You wanted to take a
I
picture.
did. I wanted to take pictures because
You
it
wanted
was.
to take a picture of her freaking ankles. I said, "You cannot, absolutely
Yep,
cannot go up and take pictures of this young girl's ankles. We
yep.
will
But
be
I wanted
escorted out
to.
of here." He's like, "You
I
think we're
tried to
pictures
zoom
of what?"
in, but we were too far away. And you know how when you digital zoom, everything gets like pixelated.
Or when you
So
pick
that
the
wasn't going
camera
to
up
do
from
anything.
your table that's 20 feet, it's whatever across the room. I'm like, "What are you doing?"
Yeah, yeah.
Just
But
check. Yeah, so
that's just
Chris
an
is
example. I mean, that's how I look at things. And
differently.
so, like, I get frustrated when I get dismissed as, oh, you're, just in this group, that group, whatever. I am independent, guys. Whether I want to be or not. I've tried to be in CG, and like nobody gave me any traction. Nobody cared except for Rick over at Cross Comics. He's been an ally the whole way. Um, but most, and that's a lie. There's probably like a handful of other people from CG that have been supportive. But in general, I don't fit. Like when people say questionable jokes, I take exception. I don't like uh, racist jokes. I don't like belittling people. I don't like cancel culture. I don't like the whole drama fest. I don't like Marvel and DC, so I simply don't read it and I don't complain about it.
Right.
I don't get that whole, well, let's keep a fire burning so we can get, I guess it's for clicks. I guess it's clickbait, a view bait. Marvel did it again. They screwed up another character. Who cares? If you're not reading and watching, why do you care? Focus on the Great Cyclopian. He's changing too. He's having a story arc. He's got Captain Aura helping him out. You know what I mean? Like, let's talk the real stuff that I am interested in.
Right.
Instead, it like on those other channels, it always turns into the MCU and Star Wars is dead
Well, some
and
people
it's
like
easy to get
that.
caught up in. I can get caught up in it for about 48 hours, and then I start going, oh, this is boring. There's
Well,
that initial, yeah, that's effed up what they did to that guy. and then it just gets to be so exploitive.
Mhm.
The worst is people who criticize movies that they haven't gone to see.
Right.
I don't know what that's about. I'm like, I do it in the sense that if I don't want to see a movie, I'll tell you guys it's because I saw a review from someone I trusted and they said yuck, so I don't really want to see it. But it's not like I'm saying that movie sucks because I don't know. I haven't seen it. I just heard it sucked. But
Right.
these people, they're like, yeah, it sucks. Well, how do you know? I can tell from the trailer.
Well,
Okay.
it's
A
like they
lot of
did the
movies
same
are
thing
great.
that you did.
What's that?
They did the same thing you did. They watched somebody they trusted and watched
Yeah, but then they
something.
go off and say the movie sucked without ever seeing it.
Oh,
I'm saying I'm not going to see it because I heard it sucked. I'm not saying the movie sucked. Do you see the difference?
I do see the difference.
Yeah, like if I go see it and I say it sucked, then it's qualified. It's like,
Remember when we were
no,
going to
Chris
do a
said
movie
it sucked.
review thing and the movies were so bad we couldn't?
Yeah. Oh my God, we saw that Stephen King one
That was
and
awful.
Boogeyman, and we had so much hope for it.
Yeah,
We
I was
really
excited
wanted to
to.
see a good movie. Yeah.
I think it's the last movie we went to go see.
It was so disappointing.
It's not the
And
same anymore. Going to a movie is just not the same. I never seem to really enjoy movies as much as I
Well, I
used to.
will say this, Marvel ruined it for me because I had so much excitement and exuberance to go. You can probably remember from Iron Man on up, every movie that came
We
out, I was like,
remember.
"We gotta go see
The
it. We gotta go
entire
see it."
family remembers.
My
Every
birthday is in May.
Christmas.
When's coming out?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And now we're
And
all like, so what do we do for dad? He doesn't like Marvel. He won't support this. He won't support that.
yeah,
So what are
Diana's
we
going,
going to
"Yeah, no
do?
more socks." He threw away all the Marvel socks.
Yeah, if the Marvel socks have been donated, he won't wear them.
I
Oh,
just
yeah, yeah.
and it's
I don't
not, you
get it.
know what? It's I do that so I don't linger on.
So you don't linger?
Well, what happens is these guys who were like me, I was Marvel for life. I was never DC, with the rare exception of Batman or the Flash. I was all Marvel. I had a little thing for Kurt Swan and Superman too, but that was a short season of about 2 years.
Mhm.
Otherwise, it was make mine Marvel all the time. And when I became disillusioned, it was a lot like a breakup with a long-term girlfriend. And you know how you don't see any pictures of my ex-girlfriends. I don't have like a box of love letters. I don't have mementos.
I know.
That's why, because I don't want to linger. I'm like, no, it's done. It's over with. Let me move on. Now it's
But
hard because I still love Spider-Man. I still love Iron Man. I still love Thor and all
we'll
my,
watch the older movies. I like
yep.
doing that once in a while.
And I
But
still love reading classic comics,
right.
but I
Terry
can't read
made a
them.
good point about movies, about they've lost their creativity. They
Yeah, their
really have.
creative soul. Yeah. And I think that largely comes down to, particularly with Marvel, it's coming down to, well, we have a formula. Like you'll notice ever since the Guardians of the Galaxy became a hit, they
Mhm.
all try to incorporate some classic rock.
Yeah.
They all have the witty jokes. They all have the
Mhm.
serious lead and this, that, and they all follow the same formula
Very
because it
formulaic.
works.
Yeah.
But if
It
they hit
does.
the right beats, they can tell the same story over and over, and they'll make billions of dollars.
Yep.
But it's harder and harder to do every time you do it. You have to be more precise,
Mhm.
and people just are not all people are made out to make a by the beat formulaic movie and make it work.
Yeah.
So that's what's happened. And what Terry's pointing out is without that creative soul, if your beat is off and you can't find a way to synchronize it with your cymbals,
Yep.
then you're doing nothing but bass.
Mm.
I mean, I still haven't seen Madam Web, but I can only imagine after all the
I
reviews
think
I've seen.
didn't Jace see that? I thought he said he liked it. I can't remember.
No, I think he said something a little different about it.
I don't
Actually, no,
remember,
you
to be
know
honest with
what?
you.
I think that was one of the movies that the reviews were so bad, he said he was going to skip it.
Oh, okay.
Because the reviews were horrible. I mean, some movies, they come out and the critics and the fans are all like, what the? This was one of those. So we'll definitely catch it when it comes on cable.
Yeah.
But It's definitely one you watch on somebody's streaming service. You don't go buy a ticket for this one. And it's
Okay.
not truly Disney, it's a Sony thing. So Sony has a not stellar record with their movies. Like the two Venom movies are suspect. The vampire one they did was horrible. Morpheus. So, hey, honey, you should be waking up. We are talking pop culture here now.
I'm listening. I'm very busy. I'm doing his eye.
Yeah, you're throwing an eyeball.
I'm doing the border. I'm almost done.
You know, out of context, that sounds gross, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Throw up that eyeball, lady. Let's go.
I'm embroidering Sykes' eyeball for my doll. I got to get going on that too.
Man, I am so excited about this drawing.
I'm glad you are. Are you still drawing?
Yeah.
So we could probably, we've been on for about an hour now.
Yeah, I need to get off. I need to get some sleep.
We are going to say goodnight. I say we. I am going to say goodnight. And
no, I'm going to follow suit. I'm going to follow suit. Mostly because I don't want to stay on without you, babe. I love you. But also because I have to get up in the morning. And I do want to finish drawing. And that means I'm going to go into like a psycho warp mode where I won't be really paying attention to a chat. And if you're not here, then I'm just being rude to the chat. And I don't want to be rude to the chat.
Yeah. And I think too, we're going to plan like to have like an open mic night, open room.
I would love to, but I want it to be by like almost by personal invite, but you can obviously let us know that you're interested and we'll send the personal invite.
Yeah.
I don't want to just post it into the chat because I really don't want to have to worry about every person who comes in being a possible porn bot or, you know,
right,
a bad actor, if you will. But even if you're someone we don't know, if you send us a message saying you want in, at least we have some sort of account we can trace if you do something bad. You know, it's accountability. I'm sure people can understand that. So yeah, we'll end this. Oh, look, Mighty Geek thought Morpheus was pretty good. Maybe I'll have to watch it because that's another one I heard terrible things about that I never bothered.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, that's what I'm saying. You might find that you like it.
You might think I'm crazy to hang around with you.
Okay, so guys, he's going to start quoting lyrics to me.
Just to have something to do.
I will have the doll completed by Wednesday. So if you're around on Wednesday and you want to come and witness the making of this Cyclopian doll, I'm planning to show it Wednesday. He'll actually be sewn together. I hope.
Wednesday night premiere.
Yeah. And then I want feedback on the eye and what you guys think, if I should go with this or not. Because again, this is just a prototype, everybody. I could change the whole stinking thing.
It's just a prototype. And she could change the whole stinking thing.
But I'm thinking I like it.
I was trying to
put that
Gigolo and it didn't work.
Don't forget to like, subscribe.
Read for free. The Great Cyclopian.
Read for free on our website.
Remember, we will have a new campaign coming soon as fulfillment is right around the corner.
Yep.
And issue 8, as you have seen, is in the works. So stay tuned. Yeah.
So stay tuned. So Terry, thank you for stopping in, and Outcast and Joey and everybody that was in the chat. So
and Captain Aura, if you're watching this later, we got to get together and talk soon. We got April vacation coming up.
Yeah, I got to reach out to Steph and make a plan.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
Well, someone's down, jump some going round. Let's discuss the light of day. Spitting truth, come with me. What's up, what's down? Nothing's ever out of bounds. There has to be a better way. Always something of a better play. Hero Shack Day, Hero Shack Day, Hero Shack, baby things. Hero Shack, hey, Hero Shack, yeah. Hero Shack, daily things. Here we go.
all my friends.